Let's get started with my man, primetime Deion Sanders, head coach of the University of Colorado football team. Sanders recently snubbed a reporter from CBS from asking a question at a recent press conference. He told the reporter, whose name was Eric Christensen, that he wouldn't answer any questions from CBS. If you haven't seen the exchange, here it is.
Next guy.
Eric Christensen with CBS Sports Colorado.
CBS,
Tyler,
I'm not doing nothing with CBS. Next question.
Joe Rigo, Mile High
Ain't got nothing to
Sports
do with
Radio.
you. This is above that. Ain't got nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate you, respect you. Ain't got nothing to do with you. They know what they did.
I'm here in Denver, not national.
You are who you are. CBS is CBS.
All right.
Joe
Ain't got
Rigo, Mile
nothing
High
to do with
Sports.
you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking you in the eye as a man. I respect you. I got love for you. But what they did was foul.
I'll get to that in a second. But first, while it's still unclear why Deion denied the CBS reporter a chance to ask a question in the eyes of many, it still is worth discussing. Some have speculated it could be that CBS Sports ranked Deion as the second worst coach in the Big 12. However, Philip Dukes, national recruiting analyst and host for On 3, has another theory. Here's what he recently posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, of course.
Deion Sanders ain't upset because somebody ranked him second to last in the Big 12. That's something that he could control because these rankings don't get you into the playoffs. He ain't mad about that. That's his goal. I'll say this. There was a project between the two that one person did their part and was vulnerable enough to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to share this with you. The other faction, said company, without notice or without saying anything, after all of this time and effort was put into something, basically said, nah, this ain't a good look for us right now. Even though it's a good look for you, it's not a good look for us right now.
Deion responded to Dukes' post with a post of his own on X that seemed to confirm what Dukes revealed. Sanders wrote, quote, "Thank you, my brother, for keeping some things unspoken. We love it when they assume, laugh out loud. The insanity is better than Sanford and Son at times. Keep up the outstanding reporting and keeping it 100. Relationships in this business is everything. God bless, my brother," end quote. Couple of things to point out. Those of you may not know what the particulars are. You know I'll find out. Here it is. A reporter who happened to be a brother had a story that they were working on. When the story was about to come out, when the information was accumulated, the brother was taken off the story, according to people close to Deion Sanders. And in return, it was given to somebody who was white. Primetime Deion Sanders had a problem with that. He may not tell you. Most other folks may not know. I'm telling you. According to folks close to Deion Sanders, that's what happened. That's precisely what happened. A young brother that was working on a story had a story taken from him and given to somebody white. Deion Sanders took issue with that. And that's why he reacted the way that he reacted towards CBS. Now, in full disclosure, let me tell you what I thought. What I thought this was about was Deion Sanders, dating back to his days from 2002 to 2004 when he was working as an NFL analyst on CBS, because he was working alongside individuals, one of them being Dan Marino, that were getting paid more than him. And Deion Sanders was obviously somebody that ended up having a contractual dispute with CBS at the time because he wanted to be the highest paid player, or the highest paid analyst, my apologies. And so because of that, you know, obviously I'm here thinking it's CBS. That must be the reason why, because Deion Sanders was working on with him, and I think it was Boomer Esiason, and his mentality was, wait a minute now, I'm the one with 2 Super Bowl championships. I'm the one that's recognized as the greatest cornerback in the history of football. I'm the one that's a champion, and I'm working alongside people that weren't, and how are they getting paid more than me? I remember that story from years ago. But when I reached out, I found out that wasn't the case at all. Now, when you're thinking about CBS and what Deion Sanders is talking about and what people close to him are talking about, let's get one thing out of the way right now, because it needs to be said. It's important for brothers to look out for one another. Now, that ain't always apropos, because let me tell you something right now. Some brothers, some sisters don't deserve to be looked out for. If you ain't getting the job done, you're a liability. And nobody needs to apologize for that. But if you are getting the job done, particularly in this day and age, in the kind of culture that we're living in, if you have an opportunity to look out for people, you look out for people. And that's not to say you don't look out for others. Look out for everybody. Look out for good people, white, black, and beyond. Latino, Asian American, doesn't matter. Look out for good people. But especially when you know there's a scarcity of individuals in the business and you have an opportunity to help them, if they are worthy and deserve it and you can help them, you should. Deion Sanders, for all of their struggles over the last 7 to 8 weeks of the season, after starting out 3-0 and having a rough patch the rest of the way, he's still one of the preeminent faces in college football. He has cachet. He matters to the University of Colorado. Whether you like it or not, he matters to college football. And so because of that, if you see a situation where you have an opportunity to help out a brother where they find themselves in a precarious situation and their network bosses confiscating stories from them, if indeed that is the case, then somebody like Deion Sanders is going to speak up. Now, let me tell you something real quick. I've known Deion Sanders for 20 years. He is a friend and a brother. And the one thing that I know about him, he will not hesitate to speak up for the brothers. He won't hesitate to speak up for most people he believes is in the right, whose hearts are in the right place. But especially young brothers. This is what I meant when I told y'all he never had an aspiration to coach in the National Football League compared to him coaching in college. Because Deion Sanders has been working with the youth of America for decades. He's always wanted to be somebody that was in a position of influence when it came to young minds, turning boys into men. That's a very, very big thing to him. And so for him, the college football was always more attractive than the National Football League. That's who he is. Whether you like him or not, he's a stand-up guy. He believes himself to be a stand-up guy. That doesn't mean he doesn't rub people the wrong way from time to time. It doesn't mean that there aren't criticisms out there for him. But he's the kind of cat that will challenge you in a character contest any day of the week. That's how he's built. That's what he's made of. And that's why when I heard this story about some young brother having a story confiscated from him in regards to primetime Deion Sanders and his program and potentially his family, and it was given to his white contemporary, I understood why Deion reacted the way that he did. And keep in mind, this is why I'm not going to crucify him, because even though he's my friend and my brother, if he's wrong, he'll tell you. I'll be the first to tell him. But here's where I'm going to defend him. He looked the reporter dead in the face, in front of everybody, and said, "This is not about you. I got nothing but love and respect for you. You did nothing. This has nothing to do with you. It's about the people you work for. They know what they did." If he had just dismissed the reporter and acted that way, I'd have said, "Yo, man, that's jacked up. Why the hell would you do that? Come on, bro, you better than that." That's what I would have said to him. But because he handled it the way that he did, he articulated his position in front of everybody to let that reporter know so he didn't cause him any embarrassment. This is not about you. I'm not dismissing you. You did nothing wrong. This is about your employer. They know what they did to me. They know what they did involving a situation I was involved with. There's absolutely nothing wrong with how Deion Sanders handled that particular situation. That's my take on it. Do with it what you will.